Good evening, everyone. The reason I'm here tonight is to first and foremost give you some facts. We have now completed 397 tests in the state of West Virginia, and we have 12 confirmed positive. We can't really believe, if we're watching TV and watching closely, what's going on in New York. And I hate to alarm you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But we've got to move, and we've got to move right now to save additional lives. You know, all the stars with New York showing us exactly what could happen are lining up. You know, if you look at where we are today, or you look rather at where New York is today. Think about where New York was roughly 10 days ago. Roughly 10 days ago, if you take New York's total population of 20 million, compared to ours slightly under 2 million, 1/10 the size of New York, and you look at our confirmed cases today of 12, and you look at where New York was 10 days ago, the numbers, if you were to multiply by a multiplier of 10, the numbers are not much different than where we are today. With that being said, what I mean is New York didn't have a whole lot more than 120 confirmed cases 10 days ago. And today, with us with 12, it almost aligns perfectly. The big $64 question is just this. We don't want to end up 10 days from today where New York is today. So with that being said, I give you one other thing to think about, and that is just simply just this. The president, all the king's horses and all the king's men had to know of an incredible financial meltdown that would happen within our country if we took all these unprecedented steps that we're taking. And so they had to know that there was a wave coming, a potential wave that could be absolutely so destructive it's unbelievable. You're seeing it right now in New York. You're seeing it tonight. You're seeing panic. You're seeing a situation where there could very well be thousands die. Let's just be fair, and let's just think. Think where we could end up 10 days from today. I commend all of you about all the hard work that you've already done. The things that we've done so far and we've put in place are working. They really are. We should be very, very proud of the fact that a few days back, we declared a state of emergency. We closed the state tournament. We closed right behind that, we closed schools. Behind that, we closed hair salons and barbershops and even the Hatfield and McCoy's Trail. Now, tonight I'm telling you we are not going to shut down the entire state now. But you've got to know that just this, as we go forward, if we'll absolutely employ all these things that I am going to tell you of tonight, maybe we can prevent that from happening. But we've got to move, and we've got to move stronger than we already are right now. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you're puzzled about what is really going on. But right now, you've got to really bear down and buckle up. You know, if you think about it, we know that there's been bingo halls open, and we know that there's gatherings really in an unsafe way, whether you're shopping at Walmart or you're standing outside of the Dollar General store. There's 60% of you that are really, really bearing down. And there's probably 40% of us that are still puzzled as to really what could be. We're really perplexed of really and truly, is this real? We're all perplexed. But this is the event of all of our lifetimes that like none other that we've ever seen. So tonight, I have sat in front of the television talking to all the medical experts. We've got the great Clay Marsh with us right here tonight. I've had the opportunity over phone call after phone call after phone call with General Hoyer and, whether it be Secretary Crouch or Dr. Slimp or whomever it may be, over and over and over we talk. I've had many conversations with the White House and with President Trump. I see exactly what could happen. Now, with all of that, here's the decision I had to make. If you don't do anything today, it really would have been easier maybe to wait in some ways and come and sit with you again on Monday. If you don't do anything today, the statistics bear out and tell us ironclad, for every day we wait, especially if the tsunami comes, we have a 40% greater infection rate than what we have every 24 hours we wait. If in fact, we can become New York, and we can, many, many, many will die if I'm not here in front of you tonight. Now, there's still a lot more we can do. And I still really, truly believe that if we absolutely will not drift more into the spin cycle and will employ all the good things that we've already done, we'll be okay. Now, this situation is hard for any of us to believe. It's like we're all lost in a movie that we can't relate to in any way. I want you to do this just for me. I want you, each and every one of you, to search your soul and tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself really and truly, do you really believe this is possible? Do you believe it's possible that we could awaken to thousands of our own that we lose? You know that we're absolutely the state that is the most vulnerable of all states, a state that is in the highest risk. You know we're an elderly state, and we got all kinds of other health issues. We know, you know, just how bad it could possibly get, but we really, and myself included in a lot of ways, it's just really difficult to believe this could become a reality. Now I want to just do this. I want to take time to brag on so many that have done so good. We've got many seniors that are in their homes and they've stayed in their homes. They've got people bringing them groceries and they're absolutely doing terrific. We need our kids to bond with the old in every way. We need them to believe because they can be infected and not even know it. We absolutely have to have them believe just as well. Now, I want to make a special effort to recognize our healthcare workers. You see, at the end of the day, if we lose our healthcare workers, we're in really big trouble. Just think about this just a second. A lot of our healthcare workers are wondering, should I stay at the hospital? Should I go be with my family? What should I do? What should I do? And yet they know that this was their calling in life, and this is their moment, their signature moment. But we got to stand with them. We got to stand with them and recognize them and appreciate them and love them and know we've got to take care of not only them, but their families. We're initiating, just starting tonight, a way that we can possibly do things like house them, test them, let them stay basically somewhat on campus if it were to be staying in some of our hotels or whatever it may be, and not go to their families for 3 or 4 days. And then if they need to go to their families, then test them again. But we need to reach out to be able to help their families with the difficulties and the problems that they may have, and reach out and help those people in every way. We cannot lose in any way our healthcare workers. We need absolutely to also recognize all those that are not necessarily our healthcare workers, but still heroes in every way. The workers at our grocery stores, absolutely, that are in need of masks and gloves and all kinds of things that we're trying, and we're making great inroads as far as getting supplies and getting all the essential things that we can supply them. But first and foremost, we have got to protect and supply all of our healthcare people. So all the people, whether it be the gas attendants, or whether it be the people that are working in Walmart or our grocery stores, or all of our transportation people, or all of our critical services, we absolutely have to have you, because all of our critical services have to continue. Now, our National Guard, with our Department of Education and our counties, is still continuing to supply food to 200,000 kids. It is a gigantic task, and we salute them and thank them for it in every way, shape, form, or fashion. As far as getting necessary supplies, whether it be, our mask or our protective suits or ventilators, we're all over it. And every moment that goes by, we get more and more orders confirmed. I need to touch just a second on economics. All of us are really, really worried. Where's our next paycheck going to come from? Really and truly, our businesses, are they going to be lost forever? How in the world are we going to sustain ourselves? Well, I would just tell you just this. The government in every way is stepping up as a nation and stepping up as a state. You'll be made as whole as you could possibly be made. And tonight, we've got to move that to the side. At the end of the day, I can never tell you enough about just how insignificant the economics are compared to just the reality, and it's just this. If we don't act, and we don't act as strongly as possible right now, we're going to lose lives and lots of lives. I'm going to pass the ball just for a second to a fellow right here, Dr. Clay Marsh, who's been with us hand in hand and has got an incredible amount of knowledge. I talked to Clay all hours of the night last night and told him, let's wait until this morning and take another pulse on New York to see just where we stood. Again, my message is just real simple. I could stop and I could have revisited with you on Monday. But the reality is just this. If we're going to keep our state open and we're going to salute our businesses for all that they've done, please continue in every way, shape, form, or fashion to let people work from home. Absolutely, without any question, that is our power. Our power, I have said it over and over and over, is simply just this: to be able to stay apart. This terrible monster has got to have the ability to jump from person to person. And if it doesn't, it dies. And it dies very quickly. And as we stay apart and the numbers flatten out, then our healthcare systems can take care of us and can take care of each and every one of us in a way that keeps us somewhat safe. The numbers don't skyrocket. Absolutely, at the end of the day, just think about just this. What if tomorrow all of a sudden we get into a spike of a tsunami. It doesn't go away on day one no matter what you do. No matter what New York is going to do, this situation is going to be bad and be bad for them for probably 10 days plus. Think about it. Think about if we get that level of spike. What if tomorrow we're in a spike and 500 people show up at the Welch Hospital and they don't have but a very few number of beds? What are we going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to lose a lot of people. And from that standpoint, as your governor, I am here to ask you in every way, shape, form, or fashion, for those that are still out there, that are not trying in every way or not taking this as seriously as they should or not realizing what really could happen, we've got to have them help just like you're helping. And so I'm going to pass to Dr. Marsh and let Dr. Marsh say a few words, and I'm going to come back and wrap it up.
Thank you, Governor. It's a real privilege to be here tonight. This is an unprecedented time in our lifetime, in our history. This is a time in which we, by doing the right things today, can change the future for the people of our state, for the future of our state, and for our country and our world. We are faced with a pandemic by a virus that we have no immune system that responds to, so we can't fight it. We know that if we look at New York City, as the governor said, that New York City has had the tsunami wave of the surge of very sick people thrown at them to the level where their healthcare system is starting to break down. We know that in contrast to what the governor has led us to do in this state, which is to be very aggressive about starting to do the things we have in our power to stop the spread of this virus. New York City did not, and now they are underwater. And we know, as the governor said, that from information from China, which we've learned from, that once you're underwater, no matter what you do, it takes about 2 weeks for you to recover in any way. And as we go forward, we look at what New York didn't do and what West Virginia is doing, and we start to turn to the future. And we know, since New York is now having the problems it's having, that we have a real opportunity. But that opportunity is time limited. If we look at the other state, that to me is also a state at great risk, California. California did the things that we have done, did the things that New York didn't do, and we see that California is still not underwater. They've changed the slope of the rate of increase of this virus, so they've slowed it down. So what the governor has said and what the governor has led for our state is incredibly important right now. Some people might say, wow, separating from each other, no big deal. You know, what's the big deal about that? Washing your hands. We know now from research done from Johns Hopkins that the virus can both stay on surfaces, so we know that we have to wash our hands thoroughly as we go out and do the things that we need to do so that we don't spread the virus to our bodies, and that we are careful about putting our hands to our face, which can also make a big difference. We know from around the world, when the tsunami hits a community, a state, a country, the death rate goes from on average 1% to on average 3 to 5%. Italy, that's a country that has a population somewhat like ours, has a death rate now of 8.8%, and their whole health system is starting to break apart. As the governor said, healthcare workers are scared. We need to have personal protective equipment that is sufficient to protect these brave people, and we rely on them. The Centers for Disease Control estimated that things could get so bad that 1.7 million Americans could die. The United Kingdom did a further study after that and said, based on seeing what's happening around the world, maybe as many as 2.2 million Americans could die. How do we prevent that from happening in our country and our state? We do the things that we need to do to protect each other. Stay in our homes. Don't congregate. Wash your hands thoroughly, 20 seconds, soap and water, or using a hand sanitizer between your fingers, around your wrists. Sing happy birthday twice, sing the ABCs, sing country roads. Don't put your hands around your face. If we do these things, we'll continue to be the leaders. And we have demonstrated how we too, as a state, pulling together, can protect each other, protect our healthcare workers, because once that opportunity, this window is gone, it won't matter what we do then. So I commend the governor for his leadership. I think it is really setting a standard for the rest of the country, but our work is not over. In fact, our work has really just started. So to save lives, to help save our healthcare workers' health, to save our systems of healthcare that we rely on, not just for the coronavirus, but for heart attacks and strokes and other treatments. West Virginia, now is the time. And either we do the right things and we keep the virus from overwhelming us, we flatten the curve, we turn the tsunami wave to a river. If 75% of us are able to do what we can do for each other, and reduce it to a stream if 90% of us can do that. It's our time to be West Virginia strong, and I'm very proud to be a citizen of this state, and a citizen that is led by Governor Jim Justice. It is our time. Governor.
Doctor, thank you. And again, thank all of you that are out there that are concerned, especially all of our medical and healthcare communities and all that you're doing for us in every way, shape, form, or fashion. I thank all of you for being with me on Saturday night. You know, to just tell it like it is, in many ways, I was really hesitant to come to you. But I've said this before, to don't panic and be cautious and don't be afraid, but be smart. I was afraid not to come to you. And the reason I was afraid not to come to you is because I know what will happen. I know exactly what will happen. You honored me with this job to do my job and to do the job that you needed me to do. I needed to be with you tonight. We're doing good work, but we've got a lot still we can do. In many ways, I've got to just tell you just this. I really don't know where this is all going to come out. I pray with all in me for all of our people that the minimum exposure will happen to us and the minimum number of casualties will happen to us as a nation in every way, shape, form, or fashion. But none of us really know. Let's just tell the truth. You see, I'm always hung up on the truth. None of us really know what the outcomes will be. But I can tell you this. I can tell you without any question whatsoever that I love West Virginia and love its people, you know, more than in many ways good sense could ever be. I know without any question whatsoever that there may be someone out there that loves West Virginia and loves our people as much as me, but nobody could love it more. I also know that if I had waited, many more would have died. And I also know that if you'll join me right now, that many more will live. God bless you, and thank you so much for having me. And God bless this wonderful state and this wonderful nation. Thank you.